The best costume I seen at Rednecks, I got to talk about this a little bit, was a guy who he was short, probably weighed 250 pounds, and had the smallest female Bucky's swimsuit on that you can buy.
You stopped at Bucky's on the way down there,
No,
didn't you?
Touché, sir.
In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Doing a thing for the podcast.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
Old MacDonald had Tourette's.
So
E-I-E-O, cunt.
That was the first time I used Flowcode Dineige on the wife.
Yeah?
I'd say our sex life has gotten a lot better since. Thank you for that tip there, Jess.
It's all about the brogued loafers.
I was going to say, what brand brogued loafers did you use?
Well, I actually had Crocs on, and I had the cowboy Crocs on.
Doesn't matter.
That's not the flow cone. Only authorized Crocs are Mikey's.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that just means you blasted your wife in the face. Like that's...
It's nothing new, but...
Yeah. So, I don't...
Fuck boys.
Well, Mikey's not here, so I guess I'll fucking do it. This is the Freedom Friends Podcast, brought to you by Warfighter Tobacco. You can head over to warfightertobacco.com. You can use that code FTFO over there for 15% off your order. You can hit up our friends over at Icy Tech Coolers. I don't remember the fucking coupon code for over there. It's
Warfighter 10?
No, Freedom Friends 10.
Freedom Friends 10 will get you 10% off your...
I forget where I'm at sometimes.
Yeah, fucking... try the other one. Fuck, I don't know.
It might work.
It might work. Freedom Friends 10 over there gets 10% off your cooler needs. And if you like to rub yourself with things that feel good, you can go hit up our really good friends over at owellness.us and use the code FreedomFriends25 for a quarter off your order. We're here for some mediocrity and even a +1 because Mikey's off driving out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So we have Mr. Forrest chilling on the show today. And he brought presents.
You did bring presents.
I did bring presents.
But you got out of the hooking business.
I am no longer the happy hooker, sadly.
Yeah, so you're the sad
So you're the sad hooker?
No, now I'm just fondling hookers. I'm replacing rods and all that fun stuff. When these hookers
Your
get
hookers have rods?
well, when these hookers, I do it all.
He's putting rods in hookers.
They said he's replacing rods.
I replace rods. I replace beds. I mean, they fuck up these beds. I just fix them right up. It doesn't matter as long as they pay.
So you're the hooker.
So you're a hooker.
Well, so now I just fondle them, and when they come in all old and worn out, I fix them right up and get them fresh again.
So you'll play with somebody rods on a bed if somebody pays you.
Not necessarily. There's rods under the bed that I'll play with. Yes.
So that makes you the hooker.
Well, I also play with very big sticks. Some of these sticks swing too.
I believe you.
I mean, they swing either which way you want it to go.
Yeah.
And I make sure when it only goes one way, when the helicopter only goes one way, I make sure it goes the other way.
Well,
For anybody who said that we're not inclusive on this show, we have a gay friend on the show right now.
Oh, not quite gay. I mean, it's just another handle to hold on to.
It's not gay. He just likes rainbows.
Even though the wife is sitting right over there in her cum shirt.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be your cum shirt?
How long have you been pegging him?
We just got to switch it up a little bit, make things exciting in the bedroom.
Sure.
What, y'all don't do that? Shit. It gives her a handle to hold on to.
Feels like it all the way through.
So,
fuck boys. Scott, I have to thank you for this tequila, man. This shit is delicious.
It's really good.
It's dangerously smooth.
When in Rome, right?
100%. Yeah, and you roamed it up this weekend.
Yeah, that's where I picked this.
No, this was a stint in Mexico City.
Yeah, when I stayed overnight in Mexico City, I wanted to leave there with have
souvenir.
Have eaten tacos in Mexico City. This tequila got in the way of that because once I started drinking this tequila, I forgot about the tacos.
Yeah, this tequila's a little too easy to drink. You could forget about a lot.
I did. Yeah, it was good. Casa Dragones.
House of the Dragon.
Yeah, this is the 16. And I found this at Twin Liquors.
Total Wine.
Total Wine. Yeah, Total Wine. Thank you.
Now, was it one of those fancy ones that's in the case, or is it just out on the shelf?
This one was not in the case. There's a step above this one that was in the case.
Which is probably like their añejo or their reposado.
Yeah, usually I'm scared of clear tequilas, but that tequila I'm terrified of because it is way too smooth.
Yeah, it's very smooth tequila, and I'm happy about it. So
it's
And
very drinkable.
And then for dessert, Forrest brought us the Jameson 18 year.
The legendary.
Looks like Mikey's going to be missing out on some very good drinking.
The king
tonight.
of JMO.
Mike, I hope you're enjoying your road trip, buddy.
Yeah, going along that 12-mile bridge.
Did you see? I brought Mikey a present. It was in your chair, I think. You probably said it.
Oh, I did. I said it over here.
Did you see what it was?
No.
You'll have to show them after the show because those things are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I might actually have to finally buy my first set of Crocs and get
No. Nobody's got my Crocs.
I'd never buy tequila, but I'd go out of my way to buy that.
I think that's different.
Yeah.
Other than that, how was everyone's weekend?
Epic.
Yeah.
I could definitely say the same.
No.
Jazz?
No, it was not.
Just kind of mediocre at best.
It was, I mean, I worked. I played golf. I did get a yurt. So I built a yurt on Saturday. If you don't know what a yurt is, that's a giant fucking canvas tent.
Yeah.
So mine's 3 meters tall and 5 meters across.
What, did you like build it inside your living room or something?
No, so I was explaining this to them earlier. So yurts they're a cotton canvas tent.
Yeah.
They're very old school, but they work phenomenally well. Just most people don't have them because they're ginormous and
Is this one
rather heavy.
Is it OD green?
It's not. It's tan
Okay.
or cream, whatever the
Okay.
fuck color you want to call it.
Canvas color.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it's canvas colored. It's not OD green. But to actually make them weatherproof, they need to get wet and then dry out. It makes all the cotton swell and seal like the fabric, so it's weatherproof. And the temperature's been right down here recently to hit dew point. So I built it in my backyard and I've left it out there a couple nights just to let the dew hit it and get because then I don't have to worry about it raining and then my floor's all wet and everything like that. It was just letting it do it naturally, so it'll seal it up. And so I built that, which was fun. But then, I went to work and then I golfed on Sunday and did house shit. Yeah, I don't do much epic shit these days.
Well, John?
On a gator hunt.
Got
Got a big fucker.
a big fucker.
10'6¼ inches.
And a quarter.
Which makes it the biggest gator taken off the ranch this season.
Nice.
You get that
By
extra
a
quarter because it
quarter
was
inch.
hot out?
Because they had a 10'6", but it's a little skinnier. But that quarter inch makes the difference.
Did they weigh it?
No, because they don't have a scale big enough to weigh it. So based on the amount of people that it took to pick it up, we're guesstimating between 450 and 500 pounds.
I was like, I didn't see people picking up. I saw that fucking backhoe.
Well,
picking it
in
up.
order to get it out of the river, we had to use a backhoe because there was no getting it. There was no getting it in the boat. And
So
there
you
was no
just-
getting it.
You just drag it behind the boat to the shore.
So it was close. Where we got it was close to a bridge. So we got in the boat we tried to get him from the bridge, and that wasn't happening at all. So we got in the boat, and the fucker almost flipped the boat over.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were trying to get it positioned so I could dispatch it.
It's working.
Sorry, Jazz broke his mic for a second.
Yeah, it might sound like
Just
it went
for a
quiet.
moment.
I
Yeah.
literally just
We're all
That's
good though.
weird.
but my
Continue.
headphones and
Sorry.
shit went out too.
I know mine did too.
No, we
Am I-
need to keep talking about the technical problem.
Yeah.
So that everybody
Yep,
knows
everybody
about it.
knows. No, so so we were trying to get a position to the side of the boat so I could get a clean shot and not worry about hitting the boat or anything. And it wasn't in a good mood. I'll put it that way. It was angry.
I'm pretty sure
It was, hitting
a little
it was
angry.
hitting the side of the boat.
So
it was hitting the bottom of the boat with its body, and so I was trying to figure out what side that I was going to get on for the guy that's pulling the rope.
And
up.
this has a hook in his mouth, right?
Yeah. Well, he swallowed the hook.
Okay.
And so I was trying to figure out what side to be on. So I'm standing up in this little John boat, And this fucker hits the bottom of the boat. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get low. I don't care what side I have to be on, but I'm not standing up in this thing anymore. But ended up taking that gator. We had to get the backhoe down there to pull it out. And then our rough form of measurement was me laying down next to it. I put my boots in line with the tip of its tail, and I'm 6'1", and I lined up. And then one of the other guys, his boots are about a foot long, and he stepped it out. And he was like, well, it's about 10 and a half.
Well, how'd you get that quarter then?
Probably
once we actually measured it and we had a tape measure. Yep.
You were as long as its tail.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know if, like, seeing the Facebook post, if it was the work of the cameraman.
Oh, I know,
like
right?
you were holding the fish out,
Yeah.
you know, like
No, definitely. And it was funny. So one of my buddies commented on that, and it one of my favorite memes in the world. He's like, that gator's 1.3 johns long. That's got to be a record. And I'm like, the fucking Americans, we use everything except for the metric system to measure something. It is 1.3 johns long. But we did get so Friday when we got down there, the landowners, William and Jess, pulled me aside, and Jess was like, hey, we have a tag for Justin. She's like, let him know. And I'm like, absolutely not. I was like, you need to let him know whenever you guys decide. So what was it, Saturday, or is it?
Yeah, it was
a Sunday. Saturday evening.
Saturday evening. We were literally all four in the buggy.
Yeah,
and that's
and I think Jess turned over and was like, "Oh, by the way, you're up next." Justin's like, "What?"
Yeah, it was like she told me, and it didn't really like register. Like I thought it was a joke or something, but it was fucking awesome.
Oh,
nice.
Or the guest might be here.
Yep. But yeah, so we got I'll wait till Jessica gets back for that part. But so Sunday morning we got a chance to get up and do some duck hunting also, which is awesome because I haven't got to go duck hunting since like high school.
You went one other time.
Yeah.
Nintendo
I think
doesn't
in
count.
Nebraska it was cold. You didn't get anything, and if I remember right.
I think that is the most common thing I've ever heard about John's
Maybe
hunting
not. I
trips.
don't know.
Well, I go on a lot, so there's odds. You know what I mean? That's why it's hunting and not killing.
Hey,
Oh, Allison.
More gifts. Woo!
got
But,
some rum.
I've been
But
wanting
yeah,
to
so
try that.
this duck hunt was a lot different than any duck hunt I've ever been on in my entire life. We limited it out in about 45 minutes, and that was with 15 minutes of bullshitting. And this was the only time in my life where I needed to pull the trigger, and it went click because I couldn't reload fast enough because the birds were coming in so quick. Like, I'm literally like bang, bang, bang. And I think I got one in the chamber, and the next next one's come in, and I'm like click. I'm like fuck, and I'm just loading as fast as I can, and I'm back up in the air still, and they're just fucking circling above us, and it was
Pretty much they were like, yep, fuck
it was awesome. 45 minutes limited out, packed our shit up, got out of there. I'm like fuck yeah. But yeah, and then Sunday after that, we went and got Justin a gator, and that was pretty cool. At first, we were going to see if he could actually catch the gator on the hook, which normally isn't something that happens.
Catch the gator on the hook. What do you mean?
So normally you hang the bait and then you leave and you come back like hours later and you check
So
on
you were
it.
trying to snag it.
But so we were driving down one of the levees and we saw a gator that was in one of the little waterways, rivers that are down there. So we stopped, rigged up the chicken on the hook, put it on a rope, and got Justin out there fucking putting that bitch in the water, and the gator literally comes right over. Right. But there's so many people and so much shit that he didn't want to bite. And so then we stuck it in the ground and we all backed up maybe 5 feet so he couldn't like make direct eye contact. Literally came right over, nosed it a couple times and took it.
Wow.
And so we were like a couple minutes away from him just hand catching the thing. But yeah, perfect shot. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Nice little adrenaline rush for him.
Yeah, it's one of those where you got to get it like in the right spot, and you can hit it multiple times. But since it was like by hand, William like pulls it up and out of the water, just the head, so you can get the right shot. And as he's telling me like where and everything, he's like, "That's your shot right there," and then it ducks down. I was like, "Ah, fuck!" And so I'm just sitting there waiting, and I don't know if it's like if it was like a once you see it, take it, or he was gonna tell me okay.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I just hear him go, all right, and then I just pulled the trigger and I was like, I probably should have listened to the rest of that. But luckily he was saying go ahead and take the shot, so we were good.
Yeah.
But it was fucking insane, but a huge blast. Yeah, I never in my life would have thought that I would have gotten to hunt a gator, so it was awesome.
Justin does kind of look like that Gator Chris guy on TikTok. That guy who down in Florida who has like a gator ranch and he like fucking swims with them and puts their face like right here.
Fuck all that.
Dude,
Holy shit.
I would not be doing this shit, but this guy, he like explains it how they're now tame, but they're still wild, and how he like. I'm like, dude, this guy's he's cool to watch.
There's a picture of Justin sitting on a gator as a kid.
Yeah, I have a picture of me when I was like 4 or 5, I think. And my parents took me to Gator World.
That's nice.
Yeah, let's put our little kid on a fucking alligator.
But for
it's
that,
like bandage shut.
I think they were hoping for something.
Took electrical tape and put it around the mouth because they can't open for shit. And then they sat you down and they put my hands over the tape so you can't see the tape. And it's just little me just like smiling at the camera. And I meant to get that exact picture with my gator, but they needed to get him back in the cooler because they can't get warm and everything. And I was like, fuck, but one day.
So,
Nice.
So what happened to all this gator meat? Did you guys get to keep any?
So we donate the meat.
Okay.
Yep. So the processor down there will take the meat and donate to whatever they have locally going on, whether it's a nonprofit or people that are in need or food shelters or whatever. There's an option that we could have kept it, but in the years prior, it's just all donated. But then we'll do some sort of amount for the head and then whatever color for the hides. But it takes like a year and some change to get the hides back. And but how big was yours, Justin? Was it like 8, right around 8, 7?
I think 7,
it was like, 8, something like that.
Yeah.
Perfect
like
size.
that.
You want to make stuff. But the color on his was beautiful. And I think he's doing a belly mount. And then on the big one that I got, I'm doing a hornback. And that bitch is going to be right above my TV on my fireplace.
I could see Justin rocking some gator boots.
So I found out this weekend they make like holsters. So I want to get a holster for the pistol that I shot the gator with. So it's like a nice holster. I'm like, I killed it with that pistol actually.
That's actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked.
If I'd been able to go on that hunt and got one, I was gonna recover the center console in my truck.
Oh, that'd be fucking sweet.
That would be pretty fucking
it's only a
cool.
square, like that big or whatever. We all drive F series. We have that giant fucking center armrest.
Yeah.
Just that.
You could
That'd be
almost
cool.
do it
Just
with like
that
the
and
hornback.
Right.
And have the horns going down the middle of it. 'Cause
That would be fucking cool.
Because it's a square like that fucking big. Just to recover that.
And then you could take the lid off when you bought your next.
As long as you keep
just
it-
unscrew it and get a new one and just screw it back on.
So it sounds like mediocre best weekend. Pretty good fun
I had
weekend.
this fucking epic weekend.
Fuck yeah. It looked like it was epic. I mean, I think it'd be a lot of fun to go.
Because
gator
I didn't know
hunting.
I was getting a gator until I got down there.
And they're like, hey, you're going to get one.
Yeah, it was Friday night. I didn't even know if it was Friday night. It might have been Saturday morning. And they were like, oh, by the way, we get a bait out for you. And I'm like, what? And because you're not expecting it. And they're like, yeah, you're taking one this year. And I was like, whoa, what? I'm like, you guys really don't have to do that. They're like, nope. Yep. I'm like, fuck, okay.
Because how many tags do they get?
So his property gets about 20 a year, and that's based on the land size. And there's a biologist that comes out and does a survey about the waterway. And I mean, and there's a fuckload of gators. So I don't know why they only get that many. But then this year, what happened this year is a bunch of his neighbors were just like, we don't have the time. So can you fill these two?
Oh, I got you.
But they have to fill them at different parts because the tags are only good for the property they're given on.
Right.
And so he's got a fucking shitload that he's got to fill. It's for management.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing when they get landowner tags for whitetail. And they're like, you're going to take 50, does off your property this year. And it's just to manage the herd.
Yeah.
If not, the herd, it doesn't grow healthy. It gets overpopulated and then you get disease that comes in. The same thing with the fucking gators.
Yeah.
But some of these, like the last one we got on Sunday, that fucker, they guesstimated it was between 50 and 70 years old.
How big was that one?
It was like 9.5 foot female, but she was blind in both eyes.
Oh.
It was very interesting. Very interesting. But that one was pretty fun. That was the most work I've ever seen or been involved with in getting a gator. But yeah. And I got invited to go down and guide a youth hunt for they paired up with the state of Texas to do a youth hunt. They bring out, I think they say something like 18 or 20 kids during whitetail season. They put them out in a blind and get them all deer. Usually it's their first deer. She's like, hey, come on, guide that. I'm like, what? Like, okay. So that's in December. But yeah, other than that, it was a fucking pretty epic weekend.
Nice.
Scott.
Oh, yeah, I went and did the Rednecks with Paychecks. So we had a good time. Drank a lot this weekend.
As you do.
As I do. I wasn't the only one. It's probably one of about 8,000 people who drank a lot. So it was a good time. I got stuck with side by side one time, got pulled out with a monster truck. It was pretty fun. Deep mud.
So you're telling us you went mudding this weekend?
Yeah. And then we went and saw some races. We saw like a tug of war, the Barbie downhill.
I was gonna say, what was your favorite race that you watched?
Oh, is that where they do like little Barbie cars? And how was that? That had to have been.
It was good. Our where we were, we didn't get to see a whole lot of it.
So many people.
Well, we're trying to learn too. Like we thought we could park side by side, get on top, and have a good view. But no, you need to walk up and be right on it. No, it was cool. Michelle had a good time. A lot of fun drunk people. It was really just a good time. So,
Did you see any fights?
No fights.
Not a single one.
Nope.
Yep.
No. I met a couple people that have gotten injured out there, like ran over by a fucking monster truck and shit like that. We did see one girl flip her side by side, and she got a little fucked up. I had the med kit, so I don't know if it helped or not. But
was there any like police or fire EMS out there?
There's EMS out there, yeah, but it takes them a while to get from wherever they are down to where we're. It's like 150 acres or some shit, so it's pretty big.
So they have like a little place they stay in. If something happens, they have to come down.
Yeah,
they're not just out fucking around.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing, but there was a concert. There was the food vendors. There's a taco stand that was fucking really good.
Yeah.
There was a guy that did like gourmet fucking egg rolls. And so I've never had anything other than egg roll, but now I've had
a gourmet.
Like other flavored egg rolls. Like that's all his menu was egg rolls. So.
Okay.
Like he had a cream cheese jalapeno one that was really spicy. Fucking, I don't know. It was really good. Yeah. So
nice.
we had a good time. Long drive down there.
Yeah.
So.
How long did it take you?
About 5 hours, I think. So
it's not horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause from here back to Fort Worth is like 3.5 hours if you don't stop. But I mean, there's fucking Buc-ee's.
Yeah. I was towing some shit. So
yeah, that's true. How did that big beast do with fuel mileage?
8 miles a gallon.
You said still what, 430 a gallon on average up here?
Yeah, I don't even look.
Yeah,
yeah, but that 8 miles a gallon was pulling a camper and a side by side
and Scott
and a generator and 40 gallons of fuel and grills and
40
all kinds of shit.
40 gallons of booze.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's as much booze as there's gas on that.
There
thing.
was, yeah, and I went through equal amounts. So.
By the gallon, the gas was cheaper.
Yes. Yes.
It's a fair point. Now, so since it got 8, how many, would I say, steps per gallon of alcohol did you get?
Well, I didn't do a lot of stepping. I did a lot of driving.
6.
So for distance traveled, what, probably about a handle every quarter mile?
Well, I put, I think 48 miles on the side by side. And we did walk some laps. So yeah, I probably averaged 4 miles a gallon.
That's pretty good.
Booze wise. So
it's pretty good fuel mileage for you.
Yeah.
Because here you're not going anywhere and we're already almost halfway through that. And that's getting pretty close to the label.
Yeah, that's true. So no, it's fun though. Look forward to doing it again.
Fuck. You know, one of these days I want to go up there. I just need to either rent me something
or just call me when you get there.
Fair enough.
So
And I'll come with 5 gallons of gas and 5 gallons of booze.
there you go.
So yeah, that way kind of 50-50 split. I'm down for that.
So I got to give a big shout out to one of our listeners, Mike Goshen.
Yes.
2 reasons. One, we now have unlimited ice, thanks to Mike Goshen, because he purchased a fancy desktop ice machine for us.
It makes bullet ice, which fucking good on you.
Yeah,
Like,
It's good ice.
Yep.
That's good drinking
it's good
ice.
ice. But the
Speaking of
second
which-
reason
would you mind?
is
When you're done.
Yep. The second reason's I think I told Justin, I think I told Mikey because I knew Mikey wasn't going to be here today. But Mike Ocean calls me on Friday.
He tried calling me.
Yeah,
Mike,
but-
I know you tried calling. I had 0 reception all weekend, so I'm sorry.
Mike Goshen calls me, and he just got done listening to the last piece of content we put out, which is the How We Met.
Yeah.
And we kind of went down a rabbit hole how we all met, and then we had a little extracurricular stuff we were talking about business stuff and starting. And I think it was Jazz that was saying that some of the motivating factors of why you started what you were doing was because of Scott and I
Yeah, well,
doing what we did.
When you have somebody close that matters to you, not just like there's a million fucking YouTube videos or TED Talks or whatever the fuck you can go listen to about
That, and I think we were available for intimate details of business, where that's hard to get by just observing
And
somebody.
so Mike, months ago, Mike and his son drove from Virginia to San Antonio, Texas, and came down and hung out with us for a little while. And just like anybody else we have, 4 people in the studio, including Forrest, that have came down. We're us, no matter what. It doesn't matter if we're recording, if we're not recording.
Shocker, this isn't like a personality for the show. Like,
Yeah, there's definitely just like this.
I am going to caveat that. The only personality to this, I am really not a sexist pig. I do it for the show and to bring some points home. But that's really not who I am, I promise. That's more of a character.
But
believe it or not.
so he called. He took time out of his day to give me a call to thank me and thank us and the Freedom Friends, the guys that are on the show, for being who we are and being open when he came down here and being honest when he had questions and having that conversation with him, because it motivated him to do what he's doing now. Like, he pulled his retirement. He went 100% pot committed into doing historic smoke in Culpeper, Virginia.
and he runs a D&D game out of there.
Right. And
Nice.
he is crushing it. And it is awesome.
It is awesome.
But he took the time out of his day to call me to thank me and thank us for kind of giving him the little kick in the ass, giving him the motivation to do what he's doing and being supportive and answering phone calls and answering questions and those kinds of things. And it really meant a lot. Because it's one thing for to get the advice and move forward in life and do the things that you do. But for him to take the time out of his day, being a business owner, to call me and tell me this, like that. And I even told him, I was like, bro, I'm like, this means more to me than you think it does.
Yeah.
Like, you went out of your way to make it a point to have this conversation with me. And I really appreciate that. So I just got to give him a shout out on here and all the listeners too. Have that conversation, talk to the people.
You're still a fucker, though.
Yeah, you are.
Sounds like a fucking good dude. Well, I mean, you guys are good dudes, because if you weren't, I don't think this thing would be very successful. I wouldn't exactly call it very successful, but I don't think you guys would have, 1,000 viewers now on YouTube?
I have no
Or how many
idea.
what are you guys up to now?
I believe we just bumped over like 2,400 subscribers.
Well, that's
yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Download numbers are through the roof. Our
We-
TikTok has like 55,000
Dude, you guys are
followers or
bombing
something
on.
like
You guys
that.
are like banging on.
We might be
TikTok.
the only podcast that does it not for views.
I could care.
I have no idea. Like, I don't know.
there's
I don't
a
know
guy-
what we get for downloads.
Every 6 months, I go like, oh, I should give a shit. And I ask Justin about numbers, and then I'm like, hey, we're doing okay.
The only time I know we're
And
doing
then I
okay.
stop giving a shit again.
Yeah, the only time I know we're doing okay is when Justin's like, "Hey, last month we had X amount, and we're in this many countries," and I'm like, "Holy shit!"
We'll break some
Why
some
would-
plateau, and then he tells me, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Why would
Like,
somebody in another country listen to us?
because it's fucking entertaining.
Especially Canada. Fuck you,
One-
Canada.
One big
listen-
milestone we're about to hit,
Fuck
boys, is we're closing in on 500,000 plays just audio wise.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a big
Well,
one for us.
There's a guy who's on the Freedom Friends on Facebook. he like started coming on there. He's like, dude, I saw you guys on TikTok, started following you. And now he's literally doing what I did. Started at, I know it's not number 1. That's not on there. It's like number 7. And he's been working his way through.
I think it starts at like 13 or some goofy number.
Yeah. When we switched hosts, it got a little weird, but
yeah. So you people that remember the first 12, all 6 of you.
Yeah. We actually had someone ask about it, and I was just like,
I think it was that same guy, because he's like, what about these other, because I just started doing this, and now he's like watching one by one as he goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's another good freedom friend.
Okay, hold on. On that topic, you guys that send, like, I've gotten messages from people, I'm sure other people have, where one of us have said something on a show from like 2.5 fucking years ago, and you're sending me a Facebook message asking me about that topic.
I have no idea.
Bro, I won't remember this show tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
I won't remember when I get home tonight.
Yeah.
My wife asks me every time I get home,
Every time.
what was the show about? And I'm like, I don't fucking remember, because we're drinking and we're just talking.
And what you need to understand is this podcast, it was kind of weird how the podcast came to be, but quite literally, when we started the podcast, it was no different than the conversations we were having with us just hanging out in a room. We literally just added microphones. So the old set, if everybody remembers the old set with just the bar that is now in his house, I don't know how many afternoons and shit were spent. Like, you guys got off the clock and we just walked to the back of that shop, and there was no mics mounted or anything.
And it was the same shit.
And we sat at that bar and just talked.
And I think that's why we started it at the bar. We're like, fuck, we just do it right
no different.
here.
Yeah,
It's just one camera.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, we've added some more shit. But as far as that, like, I'm telling you right now, there was a conversation that happened in John's office before the show, because I got here early. And I'm sitting on the couch in his office, and Justin walked in, and that could have been an episode. The conversation was absolutely no fucking different than what happens on the
And
show.
then when Scott walked in with something, that was a pretty good.
And then
oh yeah, fuck, I forgot that.
I appreciate that you're that dedicated to the show and you listen and you remember that stuff, because like you're on your commute and there's nothing else to do. But half the time, all of us are waiting for a lull in the conversation because we need to refill our drink. Like, it's not.
You want tequila, by the way?
I do.
Yeah, she's just been sitting there with a couple of ice.
I do.
Yep. Sorry.
I'm looking at that JMO, but fuck, this tequila is
Yeah, I mean, I know, right?
It's pretty good.
stellar.
I'll let you pour, because if
Believe
you get a
it or
felony,
not-
I don't want to be involved.
Believe it
in
or not, I brought that tequila to Rednecks with the.
And you didn't drink it?
No,
I
he bought
fucking
more.
knew better.
Attaboy.
Fucking knew better, John.
Attaboy. I was going to say, because you'd have been fucked.
I would have been fucked.
And if
You
you would have
probably
made that to
still be
margaritas, I would have been endlessly giving you shit.
The first day and a half, I drank 24 twisted teas,
Okay.
which is not like me.
I drank the fuck out of some Bud Light this weekend
Yeah.
because I needed to hydrate.
I was going to say, oh,
Like I broke all my drinking rules. Like
Mhm.
I drank beer and then I switched to liquor and then I drank fucking the.
All of my drinking
all
habits,
the
and
weird
I'm with
shit.
you.
How was
All of
the
my shit's
hangovers?
changed lately. Like,
Well, it wasn't bad because I could sleep in.
I figured out
but at least, you know,
There's
mixing
a
all that
restaurant
stuff,
here.
you know. Mhm.
that all day, every day has $5 Long Island iced teas.
Where's this?
You want to go?
What?
I went 4 times this week.
Dude, I will drive down just to go there.
Where is this?
So they opened at Twin Peaks in Live Oak,
Oh,
and they're dog friendly.
What?
Mm.
So me and the new puppy, and the wife loves it because the food's good.
Yeah.
So me and the puppy and the wife, we go down there and
Huh.
$5 Long Island iced teas, dude. And they're coming out
the
in
one
like,
right next to IKEA, right?
yeah,
Are they good?
yes,
They put a Twin Peaks next to IKEA?
yep.
It's
We're going to have to
In back
dedicate a
of the-
weekend where me and my wife
So-
come down and just hang out.
And it, oh, dude, the patio, which is completely enclosed and it's open air to the rest of the restaurant, is
So can
dog
you
friendly.
smoke on it?
No, that's the
Oh,
only downfall is that you can't smoke. But $5 Long Island iced teas
that's
all day,
cheap.
every day.
Wow.
And then I found out that after 10 o'clock every day, if you're in the service industry, your ticket's half off. Well, I own a
That's
bar,
pretty
You
fucking
do
cool.
own a bar.
I work for Jazz.
and all of a sudden you guys just became my employees.
I own a cigar company. That's a service industry.
Yeah. But yeah, their sin night is half off
Nice. One night.
every night.
Okay.
So you have 10.99 bartended at my bar. So
You're fucking.
you've slung drinks at my bar.
I have.
As far as
This
I'm concerned,
technically actually can work.
as far as I'm concerned, you're one of my bartenders.
Yeah. I guess bartender. I'm part time.
Part time. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just for major events.
One
Actually,
time?
I might hit you up.
Yeah.
I might hit you up in November
Okay.
because
I'll come fucking sling
this
some
shit's
booze.
getting out of control.
We'll get the fucking all-star team back together. Mikey and I behind the bar.
Fuck yeah.
So I got a notification, and usually I won't bring it up, right? But it's an Instagram one. Soy Sauce Assassin mentioned us in a comment. That's an epic name. Soy Sauce Assassin. I don't know what he said, but I just like the name.
He
Oh,
just
he's got
picked
our
up
ashtray in
yeah.
one of his pictures.
Yeah.
So Soy Sauce Assassin. Actually, I got to give a shout out to this dude too. So he had he bought from a cigar shop based out of Tucson, Arizona, called Little Guy Cigar Shop. And Little Guy Cigar Shop's owned and run by a guy named Michael.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy, and
must
he's
be new.
he's an awesome dude. He's been around for a couple of years now. Awesome dude. You can go online. He's got a website, littleguyscigars.com. He does carry Warfighter. But so the Soy Sauce Assassin bought a sampler pack off of from Little Guy, and he had an issue with one of the sticks, and he reached out through the channels, and it got back to us. And I was told from a little birdie that he is a swag whore. And so we got some replacements out to him. And I happened to throw in some patches and stickers and all kinds of stuff like that, and it made that guy's month.
Nice. So me and the wife are actually headed back to Tucson, where we're from, in
Okay.
December. Never heard of it because we only had Jerry Cigars and Anthony Cigars out there when we left 2.5 years ago. So I'm definitely going to go hit that place
When
up.
are you guys going back?
Like the second week of December.
How
Like,
long are you guys going to be back there for?
We're going to be back. So we were going to fly, but now that I've seen everyone's been having issues with
Just
flying,
drive, bro. It's easy.
we're going to drive out there, and I think I'm going to go up around 40, take my wife through Flagstaff and go to Mary's Cafe,
Okay, cool.
and then drop down to Phoenix for like 2-3 days, go see
Yeah.
some family there, and then probably spend 7-8 days in Tucson. So we'll be there for like a week and a half.
So when you're in Tucson, go to Tombstone
Oh,
and
yes.
go check out Smoke Signals.
Well, that'll be on the way back.
No, you have to. And you have to go see Miss Suzanne. She owns the place.
Well, that'll be on our way back here because Tombstone is
Yeah.
on the way back
and
here.
they carry Warfighter. And you're gonna end up spending 5 or 6 hours in their shop.
Were you
I'm down.
that dude, the guy that owns Tombstone and his wife?
No, so the guy passed away. It's just his wife.
You're talking
It's
about
just
in,
his wife.
You're talking about in Tombstone.
on the fucking main drag in Tombstone. It's
Oh,
called
right,
Smoke
yeah,
Signals.
that's-
the gun
wait,
store and cigar shop.
so
They
we're-
show up like they come to the
dressed
trade
to
show
the fucking nines.
dressed like they stepped out of the movie,
Like
it
1860s.
is-
Oh, it is amazing.
unreal.
Have you guys never? You guys have hung out down there before,
Yeah,
right?
but they do it at the PCA show in Vegas.
No, they come to
Oh,
the.
sweet.
That's not just for the store. They go to the trade show in Vegas and walk the floor.
That is them. That's their
Yeah.
person. That's like
That
they're
is
not
fucking
putting on
cool.
costumes.
Yeah,
is
that
who
is
they
not
a
are.
permanent Renaissance, but Old West.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
and they are like.
And they're some of the sweetest people you'll ever meet.
The last time I went down there, they're like, we need to take a half a day to go to this one shop. And I
Tombstone's
was
a
like,
cool
what?
little place.
And I'm like, dude, I've been going to a lot of shops for a lot of years now, like a half a day. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, hey, I'll trust you. Let's do this.
Dude, well, so Tombstone is just a little off the beaten path of I-10, but it's on the way back here.
Even if you guys get bored for the 7 days you're in Tucson, just
we won't get
fucking
fucking
go down
bored.
there.
So we're definitely noting that.
I
It
didn't know
is
he passed.
phenomenal.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
I think it was a fucking
And-
legend.
And well, I think I told a story when I got back that Miss Suzanne took me across the street and bought me a cowboy hat when I was there. And I told her, she's
remember
like,
that.
do you have a cowboy hat? I'm like, no, I'm not a cowboy. Like, so I don't have a cowboy hat. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what to tell you. She's like, you don't have a hat. I'm like, no. She's like, okay. And so a couple of hours later, hey, cowboy. Gary Brugman just walked in.
Speaking of
wearing a cowboy
cowboys.
hat. Hey, it's after September 1st. You shouldn't be wearing white anymore. He's got a white hat on.
You should have switched to a felt by now.
Yeah. But yeah, so she took me across the street and bought me a cowboy hat. And she goes, every time you come to my store, you have to wear this. I'm like, I'm from Texas. She's like, I know. I'm like, okay, no problem. It'll happen. So
You do what that woman says.
every time I go down there, I have to bring a cowboy hat to Arizona now, just so in case I go to Smoke Signals in Tombstone.
Was it? I can't remember. Was it a felt or was it,
It
like?
was a brown felt and it was beautiful.
So when you travel with a felt, you're gonna have to get one of those hard cases.
Oh no, I hand carry that bitch.
Or just wear that bitch on the
Have you
airplane.
You have a sunroof in your truck, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I haven't
God.
been in your truck in a minute. Have you seen that dude that
Yes.
makes the leather?
There's a guy
thing?
out of Texas who makes this thing that sticks to your sunroof and holds your hat and guns.
And your handgun.
Well, so in semi trucks, there's actually that spring thing that holds most cowboy hats up. And I've seen they have those. They have all different kinds of cowboy hat holders, but the gun part, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, but they're all hand. They're expensive, but it's all hand tooled leather, and it mounts inside the roof of your truck, and then it holds your hat, and it'll hold your handgun and everything, and it still lets your sunroof work.
That's pretty fucking cool.
I don't wear a cowboy hat, or I'd have one in my fucking truck because it's badass. But I own multiple cowboy hats.
JM Cowboy Hat Racks. I've been following them for years on social media.
So dope.
JM Cowboy Hat Racks.
And even like the thing that holds
out.
it is like braided leather that just goes around the crown, and then it snaps in and holds your hat. And
they got one now that holds a lever action.
Look at these things. Fuck, they're so.
Yeah, because I know about the ones that a lot of the big truck guys do.
All right, stop.
You
I
just
only have
pull
so
it
much
down
skin.
and stick it in and let it go, and it holds it up. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah. But
They're badass, dude.
Yeah, you guys should go check them out.
You know, you are getting all that gator leather.
Ooh. Fuck yeah, bud.
Do you really need a wall decoration as much as you need that?
Yes. Yes, I do. I have really tall ceilings in my living room.
Well, and now, if you're getting the head, you got to get the head so you can set the cowboy hat.
So I'm doing two heads. I'm doing both of them in Euro mounts. The big one that I just got, 10'6", that one's just going to go on my coffee table in my living room. So the hide's going to be on the wall, and then the head's going to be on the coffee table. The smaller one that I got the weekend, or that I ended up taking the weekend prior, the bottom teeth of the jaw are in a V. And so I'm going to do a Euro mount myself on that one. And then I'm going to prop the top of the skull open and put an ashtray inside the bottom jaw. And those V and the teeth are going to be my cigar rest on my desk.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking pumped for that one. That one should be done by next weekend.
Nice.
So I'm hopefully going to try to get that done this week.
Scott,
Yes.
do you like bonfires, meat on a stick, and drinking in public?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go to Ren Fair with me this year.
My wife is like a Renfair lady.
That's why I bought that yurt. Because
So-
I'm camping out there, but it's 5 meters across and just
When
fucking huge.
and where?
It's all of October and all of November, and my wife and I are planning on going 3 times. It's 3 weekend trips is what we're going to make this year. You should go with me on one of them. And they have RV parking. You could take your RV and park it.
And it's in Houston, right?
It's just outside Houston.
It's just north of Houston, right?
All right.
yeah,
Scott's
it's in.
not really a tent camper.
Why do you think I brought up they have RV hookups too? I was going to rent yours for it,
Yeah.
but you should go. You don't have to do the costume and shit. You can if you want. They're comfortable as fuck. But
What's Rem Fair?
so
Renaissance
Fair.
I got it. Okay. Yeah.
But the one in Texas is the largest one in the country. So just the campgrounds, to give you an idea, is 200 acres. That's just the campground. That doesn't even include the fair.
So that's bigger than Rednecks or Paychecks.
yeah.
So
Well, and 2 months long. Jesus Christ.
yeah. So
It
and,
gives you plenty of time to go.
but it only runs through the fall, and every weekend is themed. So we're going to like Celtic weekend, Barbarian weekend, and I think we're going to Pirates Holiday.
Is it only open on the weekends or
only open on the weekends?
Oh, that makes
but you
way
can
more
show
sense.
up on
Yes.
but you can show up on Thursday
Okay.
and set your camp, and then everybody. It doesn't open till Saturday morning. But you can show up
yeah.
Thursday and set up camp, because then all day Friday and into the evening, it gets fucking weird.
So it's just
Nice.
Saturday, Sunday.
It's Saturday, Sunday.
I was looking at it from a vendor standpoint. I'm like, these motherfuckers got to go out there for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, oh
no, the vendors never leave. There's like a whole village that the vendors just live in, because all of the shops and the shows and everything, it's all hard buildings. Like it's all permanent installation. But like, there's an after hours club where they throw like Roman bacchanals and shit at night and stuff
yeah.
like that. Like it's
Maybe.
it's fucking weird.
You
dude.
might have sold me, sir.
like
All of us need to go because my wife wants to go, and I think it'd be fun to go with people that we know
Fuck
that are
yeah.
into that stuff.
so. The bigger
Like
the
she's
group,
got like
I'm not
bigger the
really into
group,
it, but
the
I'll
better.
go hang out.
well, and that's why I'm saying it's
I
like,
can get into it. I don't give a
the one
fuck.
in Arizona was pretty fun because she dressed up and I had my cowboy hat on, boots and jeans, and a sleeve.
I like going to the one in
shirt.
Arizona because they do jousting.
That was the one we went.
No,
yeah.
they do that. They do that there. There's also the bourbon, the King's bourbon tasting.
Ooh,
So you go and you sit with the king,
I'm
and
down.
then it's. I think this year it's 14 flights. It's 14 different bourbons, and there's a tequila one too.
Nice.
But
Nice.
They had tequila back then.
no, but I don't give a fuck.
they had smoked turkey
If you
legs
pay
back
for the
then.
King's Feast, it's 14. It's 14 dishes.
Who's the king?
It's this dude that
Jaffe Joffa
is the king. Like,
Because I'm pretty sure there's like you can challenge them and become king, right?
no, but I'm gonna try.
Right?
I'll help.
But
By force.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that was a thing.
to give you an idea of the priority, like I have a costume that I wear to Ren Fair, but part of mine is literally the strap that goes on my belt and it just holds a tankard. Like I'm like, fuck a sword. I just need
Right.
I need a ready drinking vessel.
The costumes at Rednecks were amazing.
Scott, you have to grow a beard out for Renfest.
Okay. The best costume I seen at Rednecks, I got to talk about this a little bit, was a guy who he was short, probably weighed 250 pounds, and had the smallest female Bucky's swimsuit on that you can buy.
You stopped at Bucky's on the way down.
No,
there, didn't you?
touche, sir. But this motherfucker in the Bucky's female swimsuit, it was epic.
So what I'll tell you is that you will see things if you go with me to Ren Fair, because at night it's game on. Like, to give you an idea, they have one of the bonfires has giant Jenga, like the Jenga that's made out of like 2x4s.
Nice.
But if you knock over the Jenga, you have to strip naked before you put it back together.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of.
Well, that's kind of what Rednecks is, all nudity.
Yeah, it's wild.
So, Michelle,
TRF is amazing.
I love my wife. She saw a dude walking down the thing dressed like the Pope. So, very appropriately, she got out of the side-by-side, walked over, showed him her tits, and flipped him off, came back and sat down.
That is fucking, that's a wife right there.
Atta girl.
Atta girl.
That's what it takes is a Pope outfit.
I think there needs to be a cigar after that. Like
The Pope.
the Pope, or we'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
The pawn titties.
Oh yeah, no, it was fun. Oh, I got to shout out one other group of guys I met. So I went down Wednesday evening to set up early for the VIP camping or whatever, and so there wasn't a lot of people there, but there was a group of guys. There was this jacked up fucking off road, like I don't know, 70s Cadillac convertible.
Nice.
It was amazing. And they had a Nebraska flag flying. So I'm like, oh, these are my people. So I go talk to them,
That made so much more sense when you said Nebraska.
Yeah. And so I go talk to these guys and they're cool as fuck. And so this Cadillac, it probably had, I don't know, it was probably on 40-inch fucking tires and it was on a Suburban frame.
Yeah.
But the Cadillac wheelbase from the fucking early 70s is the same as today's fucking Suburban wheelbase.
Perfect.
Which is awesome, right? So yeah, it was fucking cool. And they were running this thing through the mud in a convertible. It was fucking great.
I think I saw TikToks and stuff from Rednecks. It just came across my feed because I follow a bunch of car stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure there's got to be.
that came through there, right?
Yeah, I've been getting them across mine too.
There's off-road vehicles, and yes, I know they come in 4x4. It just confuses me. But every time I see something that's like a Tahoe, like a relatively modern Tahoe, that's been like monster trucked, I always just look at it, I'm like, really? Like that's the platform? That was the decision.
Did
was
you
like,
see those big ass dualies?
you needed to get the one that was.
Yes. So when my
Those I respect, though.
When my
And, like-
F450's paid off, I'm going to refinance it and put, and it's going to be.
You're gonna put the ladders and everything.
Yeah,
in,
I told
just
you need to lift that thing.
So
and
it's
put some shit
they
on
have
it.
hydraulic, like it's like a fucking, what do you call them? The steps.
No, I mean the ladder suspension, the big like.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
big fuck
But
off.
to like get in it,
powder-coated
it's all
bastards.
hydraulics. So they have a remote, and it just like lowers them to the ground on the fucking
It's like an elevator.
on the steps. Yeah, and then they push the hydraulic thing, and it raises them
that's
back up.
awesome.
It's fucking cool. There was a lot of cool shit out there.
That's why it's called Rednecks with Paychecks.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to have a paycheck to build some of those
the
trucks.
paycheck was the biggest part.
Some
of
of
it.
those trucks are like $250,000.
Oh,
by the time
100%.
they get done.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
Easy.
some of the semi truck stuff. Those guys that own them and they build those like cut the lowrider
Dude,
semis that
you're-
are like fucking framed out, and it's just like
$250,000.
But John, you know what- you know what I-
nice looking regular truck,
Right,
dude.
but then the
You know
fully
what I-
custom ones.
Some of the motors on those trucks, those big trucks that like will outrun a Viper, because there's videos on the internet that will outrun Corvettes. Just the motor alone, you're looking at $200,000.
But that's some of that. I've seen those ones that are like,
Oh, dude.
they're the sleep-ins and all that stuff. That
They
are,
put
they're,
sound
and they're
systems in 'em.
slammed out and framed out and fully custom and the whole 9 yards. It's like that's a $500,000 vehicle.
There's actually
easy.
I found out there is a custom semi truck place that builds them and customizes them just south of San Antonio. One of these days, I'm gonna go check them out.
but it's just like
Yeah, dude, the money that's in those is just fucking stupid.
It was
that's
crazy.
There's another TikTok. There's a group of farmers on TikTok that they critique other people's like truck builds
fucking
and
love those
the
guys.
crew that's there. And that one dude's
Yes.
always like, I gotta take a shit. And
Yep,
he just like
and he
walks
walks
off. But they'll do this stuff and it's like, can't believe the shit on my car. Fucking tire cost me $1,200. And these guys like, hey Bubba, what'd $1,200 get you? And he's like,
Yeah.
fuck, I don't know, a brake pad. And it's like, and you're talking about these dudes that have like their farm equipment like starts at $500,000 and
I
goes
found
up
out
from there.
that a farm tractor could cost $100,000. Fuck, that just is a tire bill.
Yeah, it was like, and then there's that one chick that's on there too that talks about the farm stuff, and she's like, "You want to know why your eggs are fucking more expensive? Because diesel's $4.50 a gallon." And then like pans over, and she's got her on-farm diesel tank for the vehicles, and she's like, "That's 5,000 gallons, and
that's a small one.
and that's 2 days worth of fuel." And it was like,
Dude,
fuck.
they'll have a fuel truck rotating every day. But you want to
wild.
something that'll blow your mind. I used to work out in Arizona at the mines. When you see the regular fuel trucks that people see on the road every day, but I used to run night shift every probably hour. There's 1 to 2 trucks going there just unloading all day, 24 hours a day.
When they measure your fuel consumption by gallons per hour,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you see the phrase GPH, that's when you're like,
Yeah, those big haul trucks, I think, had like 1,200 or 1,500 gallon fuel tanks, and the drivers work 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So you have 2 shifts. Every shift was fucking like 12 to 1,500 gallons. And those fuel trucks are about 7,000 gallons of diesel. And when they're like 1 to 2 an hour going in there, it's when you realize it's just fucking mind blowing.
Oh.
So all these people thought, I want electric cars. Yeah, well, you know how much diesel it costs to make that one battery for your electric car?
I just like that people can't charge their electric cars in California right now.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they were the ones giving us shit during the whole Snowmageddon. Well, you guys power
It's gonna
grid.
be
Yeah,
great.
it sounds
It's
like
gonna be
your
great
power
when
grid's
they
great too.
outlaw combustion engines.
They did.
No, but
In
when
some
that
places.
actually goes into effect,
Oh, yeah.
and
yeah.
nobody can do anything because they can't charge anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like,
Because semi trucks that bring their shit won't be allowed in.
no, but like you can't even have a gas powered lawnmower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna go drive through like Beverly Hills, and there's gonna be like overgrown bullshit because nobody can charge anything. It's gonna be so awesome. I can't fucking wait.
no
They're
gas
literally-
vehicles, but no power.
as much of a shithole as it already is, they're gonna make it even worse. I'm excited. Just remember, if you want to move to Texas, it's a little bit north from where we're at. Oklahoma City's capital.
Dude. No, Wichita,
Tulsa is booming.
Tulsa, Texas. You got to go check out Tulsa, Texas.
Yep.
That is like best place to go. I live in Dallas. It's not that great. Just go to Tulsa. A little, like what, about 3-4 hours, a little bit more north.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a guy in my
It's
bar
okay.
that had just moved here from California with the Air Force. So he got stationed here and he was like, yeah, I just think like, you know, I'd like to change this, that, and the other. And I was like, why the fuck did you pick San Antonio? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you came to Texas. He's like, well, yeah, but you know, it was good for the, I was like, cool. Then be here for your 3 years and fuck off. Like, I don't understand why you need to feel like you need to get involved in local politics to change shit
There's a reason when you go to
when
a
you're going
country.
to fucking leave. Like,
No.
There's a reason when you go to a country that doesn't really care for the United States of America, but when you go to those countries and you say, and they ask where you're from and you say Texas and they love you, there's a reason for that. And that's in another country.
yeah.
But
So
that's also another like caveat to Texas is like you can go anywhere in the world and be like, I'm from Texas. And they're like, oh,
And they're like, we know where
they
you're
treat
from.
you different.
yeah. But if you're like, I'm from New Mexico, they're like, what?
Where's that?
Have you seen that stat on what would happen if Texas was an independent country?
Mm-mm.
So based on our GDP, we'd be the 9th largest economy in the country, which would qualify us as a economic superpower
You got
as far as the world is concerned.
Nice.
Best country in the world.
And then But land mass alone, we're bigger than France. We're bigger than Spain. Like, we're bigger than these other fucking countries.
So if you
It's
guys
like,
actually go to, it's like how actually big is something? I can't remember the website, but it says how big is Alaska. And actually, when you go there and you select Alaska and you drag it to the United States, it actually shrinks and it's not as big as everyone says. It's
well,
still big.
It
but
has to do with the way that we orient a map.
It's still about half.
but I mean,
It's still a massive land mass.
yeah.
But yeah. But the
I s-
difference is that we have an independent grid here. It's apparently in shambles. I don't know how the fuck that happened off of one storm. But
I can't
were
tell
you
you.
measuring your dick? What the fuck was that?
I can't tell you
So-
how many times this weekend that I said out loud, I fucking love Texas so much.
John, me too.
Yeah, but see, you guys came here and embraced it. It's the people that move here and are like, yeah, well, back where I'm from.
we
It's like,
came
nobody
here. We
cares.
came here knowing like this
Yep.
is the fucking fatherland. Like,
Nebraska's not far removed from Texas.
Mentality-wise.
unless you're in Lincoln or Omaha.
Well, yeah.
That always happens in any major metro.
And
San
outside
Antonio,
of Lincoln and Omaha, there's 46 people that live in that state.
unfortunately, San Antonio is starting to slip
Mm-hmm.
because of just local politics. But that's like I got my liquor license from the state. Paid my money to the state, paid for all my inspections, all that shit. And then got 2 calls. One from the county and one from the city. Both of which told me that I needed to pay them the same amount of money for that license
Yeah.
that the state already gave me.
That's weird.
And I was sitting there and I was talking to Uresti, the office of whatever Uresti, who is the county tax assessor's office. And I was like, can you tell me where the fuck this money's going? They're like, no, it's a fee that we're allowed to levy because you got a TABC license. And I was like, so you can't tell me where the money's going. And she goes, if you don't pay it, we have the right to revoke your license. And I was like, so it's extortion. You just admitted it's extortion. I either pay you or you punish me. Like I was like, you do understand that that's the definition of extortion. I was like, I'm going to pay you.
Well, that's all taxes.
I hope the IRS is listening.
I just want to make sure that we're on the same
Fucking hope
page,
they are.
that you are providing me zero service for the same fee I've already paid to the state. And then on top of that, all of the inspection fees that I had to pay to the city and county to get my state license,
Right.
to then pay my license 2 more times to receive absolutely nothing for that money spent.
Yeah.
And of course, they got like, as soon as you pay it, we'll send you your license. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm paying you $1,000 for a piece of paper. That's most expensive 9.5 by 11 piece of paper I've ever read. Fucking ridiculous.
So I got 2 more stupid little gifts, but they actually mean quite a bit. I figured I'd make you guys, because I finally went to the Alamo. This is
Okay.
pretty cool Texas history. It was awesome.
Yeah, you gotta
But
go
so I
on.
had to get you a come and take it little penny.
Oh, look at that.
And then I had to get one of these. I want to find it on a shirt. And it is the greatest thing. And I was like, this was me when I left Arizona. David Crockett, may you all go to hell. I will go to Texas.
Goddamn right.
I'm like, you
That's
know what?
If you had gone across the street from the Alamo to that little t-shirt shop,
This
you
is
could
the
have gotten
Alamo.
that on a
This
t-shirt.
is the Alamo.
And on the back of it
Dude,
is that quote.
I love that. Is like my favorite Texas quote. May you all go to hell.
And I will go to
I'll go
Texas.
to
I'll go to
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, nice.
I remember the first time I went to the Alamo, and I think I talked about this earlier in episodes. I was very disappointed because I walked around the whole thing and I didn't see a single bullet hole out of this huge epic historical battle that happened.
Right?
And then I talked to somebody who worked there and I realized why. Many years ago, they restored it to its original luster to bring authenticity to it, to show people exactly what it looked like before. Because when you see what it looked like after the battle, you would literally walk over there and it would just be a pile of rubble and there's nothing fucking left.
Well, I'm surprised you haven't seen a modern bullet hole in it.
Have you done the
Security
wall?
around there is pretty good.
Have you done the wall walk yet?
Around the outside?
So there's the Alamo,
Yeah.
and then the base stones for the wall that actually surrounded the mission are still down there. So you can actually walk the big square
Okay.
that actually surrounded the Alamo, and the stones from the foundation are still in the ground.
Well, you also got to realize too.
and
back
then
then
you can see just how big
Yeah, it was
the entire mission
the
was.
footprint was
Because what we know as the Alamo, the actual chapel,
yeah.
is not a big building.
No, it's not.
Like it's the size. It's fucking smaller than what we're sitting in.
yeah.
It's quite small, but but you can go walk the wall, which is the original wall of the mission.
Yeah.
Then you realize just how damn big that thing
Right.
was.
Well, so is what I noticed. It was actually really cool, and I'm glad I got to.
It is
insight on it.
amazing. It really is.
The actual wall that was around it is no longer there. That's like all the shops and the street and
Yeah.
shit. But the actual church, and I looked at the little model, and I asked the guy, I was like, "Hey, is this what it used to look like?" He's like, "Yes, completely different." And I was like, "Well, how did the roof come about?" And he said, "After all that, the United States Army bought it." So it was government owned. They actually had put a second floor in. That's why a lot of the windows have doors on them. And it was a wooden roof. And then in the early 1900s to 1920-ish, developers were trying to buy it to making it fucking hotels and shit.
Well, it's
Yeah.
downtown San Antonio.
Yeah.
So.
And then some lady wanted to buy it. Well, it was back in 1918 or 20. It's kind of hard to come up with $25,000.
Aw.
So she chained herself inside for like 2 or 3 days. Then things went happen. And then she found a friend who owned ranches and whatnot, and had a little bit of money laying around. They bought it. Yada, yada, yada. The state ended up finally buying it, reimbursed them the money. And that's when that was like 1920. And that's when they put the little bit more modern roof.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
The
Because I
story
was like,
goes-
this model
the
is
story
completely
goes is
different
that
from what
she
I'm
was
looking at.
reimbursed
Yeah.
and gifted it to the state of Texas.
Yeah.
Pretty much like,
So-
hey, you didn't spend any money, just give us this. Which, I mean, I'm glad it didn't get turned into a fucking Marriott.
Right.
No, now it's
That-
next door to a Haagen-Dazs.
That's one of the coolest things that I
is.
like about Texas.
And a Ripley's.
and a Ripley's. The Ripley's is gone.
Is
Yeah,
it?
they tore
The
all that.
city,
They tore
the
that whole
city
strip down.
told them
Oh,
they had
fuck.
to move out, and they're tearing it all. Look. Am I a huge fan of gentrification? Not really. Does our downtown need to be updated?
Yes.
Like downtown San Antonio is rough. I'm cool with everything still being the original one-way streets, and I'm fine with that. And anybody that's been to any major metro downtown, you're used to the fact that you can only turn left every other road or whatever.
It's a little
That's fine.
confusing if you don't know Texas.
But our downtown needs a serious update. But some of the stuff that is legendary downtown is staying.
So-
Like Paris Hatters is down there, and there's one of the best hat companies in existence. If you are in Texas and you want to get a true Texas hat, and you can get to Paris Hatters in downtown San Antonio,
The Cowboys not in
they
his
will
head.
do you right. They will. They're some of the best in the world. They're absolutely amazing. But they will make you a Texas style hat. Now there's some of the ones that are out in Arizona and
Yeah.
New Mexico, and you will get a hat that's that style.
It's slightly changing.
It's a little bit of a difference.
just like the
That
Mex-
stuff is being left alone. I personally don't have a problem with the fact that they're ripping out Ripley's downtown.
Yeah.
Everybody made this big stink about it, and I'm like,
That place doesn't belong down
it
there.
doesn't belong down there. Like, get rid of it.
Yeah.
I did,
So-
the funny part is they tried to pull a Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking going. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, fucking peace out, y'all.
But you also need to keep in mind that the Alamo is literally downtown next to the mall. But like, you park in River Center Mall's parking lot.
Honestly,
and then you walk
when
over
we
to
first
the
moved
Alamo.
here and then went down 2 years ago in December to check out the Riverwalk and do all that shit, I didn't realize. I was like, oh, I wonder where the Alamo is. Fucking, it was like, I'm like, it's
Right
in the
there.
middle of the
Right there.
city?
Yeah.
What? I
Yeah.
thought it was like out in the middle of nowhere.
There's a
but
traffic
no.
turnaround right next to it.
Yeah. Well, we finally got
Do you know
to,
what you don't do if you're from San Antonio?
You don't miss your brother's wedding at the Alamo or at the Alamo.
At the Alamo.
At the Alamo.
Can I just point out that I never bring this up?
I'm convinced you like pay them off periodically.
I never.
No,
bring
Justin, we
this
just
up.
think it's that fucked up.
But
so my weekend, I forgot it because you guys are more important than me.
Well, no,
I'm just-
you had a
but
good
still,
weekend.
I actually had a decent weekend here so far. We went to Bastrop. We went to Copper Shot.
Fuck yeah.
Still fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Steve,
Amazing.
all those guys are
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
By the way, now that everything is made in house, even their amaretto, and now they're
Ooh.
starting Tuesday. I think this Tuesday or next Tuesday, everything will be 100% made in house, including their bitters.
Oh,
I'm like,
Oh.
oh, bro, dude,
Ooh.
yeah, everything
I'm
is
going
going to
to
be
go
made
for a
in house.
motorcycle ride this coming weekend.
Yeah, everything's going to be made in house. But so we spent 2 days down there, in like a 1900s house. A little
Nice.
creepy. It was like a haunted house, but it wasn't haunted. It was pretty cool. And then we came down for a show that the wife and I and a bunch of people have been waiting for the last 2.5 years. Rammstein.
Yep.
Fucking awesome. Best concert, hands down.
Yeah, I saw some video of it. I had a group into my bar today from Indiana that came down here to see Rammstein. And then they apparently this morning they had to leave their hotel, but were waiting for their flight and literally Google searched game stores and saw that mine had a bar. So they were like,
fuck yeah.
we're going there.
That's cool.
Well, and originally when we bought the tickets, we were still in Arizona. We haven't even thought really about moving out here. And then long story short, shit happened. We ended up moving out here, but we were willing to come from Arizona to come
Did he
out
set
here for the
himself on
concert.
fire this time?
No, but he did beat his head against a post.
That
and
sounds
the
right.
dude, Till Litterman, is 59 years old. And that
He
dude
set himself on fire, like,
well,
and not on purpose.
Well, so the reason why, so here's a quick thing about Rammstein that I've looked at is before when they first were getting big, the reason why he has so many fireballs and explosions and all this shit to distract the audience, because he actually hates being stared at. Yet he is a world famous musician. He hates being stared
Well,
at.
they got good music.
But
okay, hold on.
well, so real quickly,
I'm about to piss a whole lot of people
well,
off.
so
Okay, they have motivational music.
They have a really good instrument section. And then they have a dude that screams.
no, he
But I
doesn't
bet
scream.
he knows the lyrics.
He doesn't.
Fuck you, Vince.
He actually doesn't
Neil?
scream, but so
It's German,
but
that qualifies as screaming.
that's a poople
That's
party.
just a Tuesday afternoon for
Dude,
them.
that's just German.
That is just how Germans talk.
I
God
don't-
damn it.
Like,
But-
you ever tried to watch German porn when they dirty talk?
Well, so when he lit himself on fire,
Why are they fighting in the porn?
it's like, why are you so mad?
because they punch each other in the kidney while the poople party happens. It's great.
John, you want to try some of this?
I don't know if I want that or the 18, but what is that?
So, Allison, come here. You gotta talk in the mic and tell us what you brought us. It's a very cool looking bottle.
I brought you a 20-year-old rum from a friend of mine's collection.
And I have seen that rum and I want to buy it. And so I'm so excited to try it right now.
Well,
Allison didn't even fucking say hi to me when she came in, so I don't want to fucking hear it.
She only waved at all of us.
I did.
No, she handed you a bottle, and then she went over there and she
And
hugged
I
on the blonde,
waved.
and that was it. I got
I
nothing.
had to pee. You should know that feeling, darling.
I just did. I just did.
I love you.
This is a cool bottle, though. I don't know
It's
what's
dope.
going on here, but it's awesome.
So, a friend of ours passed away at the very, very beginning of all the cooties.
Mhm.
And you guys actually knew him, Matt
Yeah.
Hull.
Right.
And this was from his collection. I had 2 bottles. So when he passed
Oh,
away,
that's
we got
dope.
part of his collection. And I knew you liked rum and I love rum. So I wanted to make sure you got to
Who
have
doesn't
some.
like
Well,
rum?
thank you.
Yes, darling.
I
So
didn't for a
Tonight,
while.
I've had like my favorite tequila,
Oh,
my favorite whiskey,
mhm.
and now I'm going to try some epic rum. This has been a
Exactly.
good.
So it's probably going to be your favorite whiskey, rum, and tequila.
Just don't kill
And
the
I'm
18
his
before I get
favorite
some
person.
of it.
I mean, this is
days.
true.
Some days.
So the whole after Till lit himself on fire, that's when the whole band actually went, and they are all certified pyrotechnicians. So now that's why he has so many fireballs. And being inside the Alamo Dome, it's completely enclosed. So I'm like, oh, they'll do a few things here and there. No, they did full on fireballs in that fucking stadium, and I was glad we were on the floor because if I was any higher than that, I probably wouldn't be here, or I would not be smoking a cigar.
That's awesome.
And then my wife turned to me and said, I'm glad we both smoke cigars because right now we'd both probably be dying. Woke up the next morning and I felt fine. But dude, if you
Yeah.
guys ever, if they decide to keep touring and they come back, I highly suggest anyone spend the money and go see Rammstein. I mean, it's just, most people are like, who's that? And once I tell them Du Hast, they're like, oh yeah, I know them. Like,
I
yeah.
was going to, but we were at this thing, so
I mean, Rednecks and Paychecks pretty cool.
it was pretty cool. There was a couple concerts at Rednecks. I have no idea who or what they sang.
Yeah, well, they probably were. Nothing probably
They-
important.
Got drowned out by all the other stuff.
All the boobies and
Yeah.
wieners and beaver outfits. And
Lots of it.
and lots of side by sides with nice sound system.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fuck me.
You know what I did not see at Rednecks, John?
Huh.
a fucking tank.
Really?
Oh,
You don't want to know why? Because
Nobody's as cool as I'm going to be when I show up. With
nobody
the tank.
could get it out if it got stuck.
Oh yeah, they got stuff.
They have a D9 there.
Have you
They
guys
do. They got stuff.
Yeah.
have you guys seen that video of NTC?
NTC.
Yes.
Oh. I was thinking of like band. Oh,
No, so-
No.
National Training Center.
Another reason California sucks.
Right.
But that fucking Humvee with the trailer that is stuck in what looks like a river.
Yeah.
I don't remember a river.
It rained.
Oh, I'm like, there was a river, but it's with the flow of the water. So I don't know how the fuck that happened. But
well, so Cletus McFarlane, I watch all these YouTube guys, and he actually bought. Kanye West used to own a ripsaw, and if no one knows what a ripsaw is, go
Our
and Google
badass.
it.
Here we go.
Go and Google it because
We have
when I have the
talked
money,
about them on this show.
when I have the money, I am buying a fucking ripsaw because he's tried to get it stuck, and he has not gotten it stuck yet.
Ripsaw, sponsor me for the Baja 1000, please.
Ripsaw, give us money.
No, just give me a ripsaw.
No, this
for
is
a
the
week.
This is the I think third time we've asked them
Yeah.
to fucking hand off a ripsaw.
Dude, those
Hashtag
things,
ripsaw and get this shit to them. I want to do the Baja 1000 with a ripsaw.
Yeah.
That's like the fucking life goal of mine.
dude,
So
when I have the
right.
money, I'm gonna have a ripsaw.
Scott, you tried the rum yet?
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's it's
Unbelievably smooth.
yes, and it's got a little oak to it.
You can taste that it's real rum. Like you can taste the actual like cane sugar
That's
and all
not
that kind of
fake.
stuff in it. Yeah, it's
So there's actually
well, no, I mean like no. There's rum at that's like colored and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
speed
yeah.
produced
They add
and all that kind of
caramel, all
stuff. And
kinds of
there's
shit.
This is probably the best rum I've ever had.
that's the best rum I've had
It's the
outside
best
of
rum I've ever had.
outside of the Dominican.
there's a distillery I've heard about. They decided to start in 2020, and apparently they survived it. But it's down in Florida Keys where rum was illegal, and they are now. I think it's called the first legal rum distillery down in the Florida Keys, and it sounds like it's a good, fun place. I've seen a thing about it, and I want to go check them out.
Florida Keys are fun.
Yeah.
I mean, what's better than fucking having a distillery down in the Keys? Fucking straight alcohol right down there.
You know, that would be a good lifestyle.
I mean,
sucks.
sitting on the beach drinking fresh rum. I don't think you can get any better
So-
than that.
Touching back on the weekend, we had a very successful weekend at the Womack Ranch. Not a single vehicle got stuck.
That is hard to believe.
It is very hard to believe.
And congratulations, William.
But and it was funny too because he was talking about this new excavator he just got, and I was like, "Bro, what's gonna happen when you get that fucking thing stuck?" He's like, "Fuck you," but I'm like, "I get it. It was half a joke, but it was half serious. Like
Yeah.
you need a D8 or a D9 to pull that thing out." He's like, "I know."
Oh yeah, I'm definitely buying
Right?
a bottle.
This
of
has been probably the best alcohol night we've had on the show in forever.
Yeah,
it. Since you guys had Copper Shot here.
Well, Copper Shot is good.
Dude, there were 6 bottles.
I have no. I'm not saying quantity wise.
quality.
Quality wise,
Fair enough.
in many different categories here.
Yeah.
Because
And
I will go out of my way to buy that tequila. I don't go out of my way to buy tequila, but I'm going to be
I've-
searching for that.
I've never gone out of my way for tequila until I had that, and
Yeah.
then I'm like,
And
I
then-
gotta find it in the States. So.
JMO 18.
That's
I mean,
fucking epic.
and now this Macambo. I've seen that bottle. They had that size, and then they had the big bottle at
So
a liquor store up north. And I'm like, I don't want to spend, $70 on a bottle of rum and
My
not
guess
like it.
is
Jazz and I investigated that bottle a little bit.
this is 20-year rum that's probably
I think it was
It's a-
bottled in 08.
I think it was bottled no wave.
that's probably over 20 years old. Is what I was gonna say.
Well, no, all the bottles look like that. They
No,
with that.
but
Yeah. But this
based on
is
the batch number and the awards that are printed on it,
right.
I think that's probably been bottled about 2008.
So that would make it a
Maybe
14-year-old
like
bottle
March
now.
22nd, 2008.
So that's a
So now if I go buy a
34-year-old
bottle now, it
bottle.
won't be as good.
It doesn't suck.
Dude, it definitely does not.
they get points for the fucking bottle
Presentation.
presentation.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And that's what drew me to it. I was like, that is very unique. And it looks like they, aren't just fucking off and,
Yeah.
bottling water in a bottle. So
well, that's good.
Yeah.
we actually found a bottle of rum that was clear, water clear, but it was aged in, I think it was oak barrels for like 3 years.
Then how could it be clear?
Because apparently they charcoal
weren't
filter it
charcoal.
afterwards to get all the color out of it. But
Yeah.
it was actually good sipping rum.
Silver rum is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had been aged, but then they filtered it enough to get all the color back out of it. Which to me, I'm like, I kind of like the color and adds flavor to it. But it was pretty good, and it's kind of cheap. So for a cheap rum, it's pretty good. But I am definitely going to go get me a bottle of that when I get back.
Nice.
Hey boys, can I hit y'all with one piece of current event that I think you will thoroughly enjoy? So there was an article put out that Ukrainian civilians, these are civilians, not military, are catfishing Russian soldiers to find out their location. It gets even better. These civilians, so it started with one guy who started doing this, and then he recruited more guys by finding them in a group nicknamed Hack Your Mom. And so these guys, for about a month and a half before they got caught, were sending they were making fake profiles with just attractive women talking to these soldiers, and they said that most of the time they wouldn't even reach out to the Russian soldiers. The Russian soldiers would contact them and be like, "Oh yeah, baby, I'm out in the front lines. We're fighting and everything." And they'd be like, "Oh, like send me pictures. I want to see what you're doing." And they were like, "All right." And so they'd snap the pictures, and all these guys they'd just save it and send it off to the Ukrainian military so they could check the geotag.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck yes.
I thought y'all would enjoy that.
OPSEC.
Speaking of which,
It's a lot harder to be a marauder in today's age.
I hear the second
y'all saw this thing with these mass graves that were found, right?
Yeah.
And I got a phone call that was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Is anybody shocked that the Russians created mass graves?
Yeah.
Like, is anybody fucking surprised?"
So Justin and I were talking on the drive back from the ranch, and I have a theory.
Uh-oh.
And this is my personal theory. It's opinion. There's no facts. There's nothing that I know secretly that backs up any of this.
So that's a hypothesis.
Yes. That hopefully will be proven true soon. But I think Putin's going to get fucking schwacked.
I think he might get schwacked by his own fucking dudes.
By his own dudes.
Yeah.
I do. And I believe that they're going to put a new regime in power.
And again, is anybody
They keep-
shocked by a Russian coup?
They keep
Like,
killing
isn't
all
it-
these or Ukraine keeps killing
The
all these
generals
generals
just
and
getting
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to happen because Putin is making Russia look weak as fuck.
Well, because they are.
Well, they are, but,
Yeah, but
they
they
have this stigma that they were the superpower
For 40
so
years.
long.
40 years.
Yeah.
Like, since the Cold War, there's still been this like, ooh, Russia. And
Except
it's like,
all their equipment is from 40 years
Like
ago.
we've had
Yeah,
conversations
They
on
have good modern equipment.
yeah, their modern main battle tank is the tits.
they just don't know how to use them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They were also cooking the people inside of them because they didn't know how to dissipate the heat from the fucking engine. But,
But we've had the conversation on this show before that it was like, blah, 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 whatever. But we don't want to really face Russia because that'll be
Yeah.
like fighting ourselves.
That's what I thought.
And then now, like, they can't even really take Ukraine. And it's just like,
Maybe
Oh.
maybe it's a ploy to make us overconfident to fight China.
yeah, that's what it is.
That
no,
makes a
I
lot
think
of sense.
I think that within the next probably 45 to 60 days, that Putin's going to get schwacked and they're going to put somebody new in power.
John, he's going to die of natural causes.
You might get Epstein. You never know.
Well, he's got a thing. Like, he's got a medical issue.
Uh-huh.
Where he takes his shirt off and rides bears.
No,
No.
I think they said he had like cancer.
Yeah,
or
I
something,
think
right?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
that might-
they're just leading up to it.
Right. That might have been just
They're already
Lead poisoning will
building the
cause
backstory.
cancer. Like, it's just a. I don't know, man. Like, that
So
whole
if
thing
you were a
is
bet
just,
man,
Yeah.
who lives longer, Putin or Biden?
Biden.
Oh.
I'll put fold money on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Because as much of a piece of shit as Biden is, nobody's going to schwack him.
No, but he's
We're just waiting for him to fall down a flight of stairs and
old.
kill himself.
He keeps doing that.
Come
and it doesn't
on,
work.
Mike.
Yeah, I've seen the shit that he's done, and he hasn't died.
Well, he keeps falling. He keeps falling up the stairs. He needs
Either
to fall
way,
down.
tomato.
We have good drugs in America.
That's the thing. Like, something will happen, and he'll be on life support for like
But that's
8
the thing
months.
is, like, we're holding
and
out
Putin
for
will die.
We're holding out for an accident. Putin won't be an accident.
No.
That's going to be a.
Yeah. I'm holding out for a meteor.
Or nuked.
No, meteor. A nuke, they're going to blame somebody. A meteor, it's an act of-
Russia.
act of God.
Yeah, it was a meteor.
We were look. Here's how you can tell that Russia's in a bad way. Have any of us ever known China unwilling to sell things to anybody?
China's not selling to Russia?
Russia is in talks to buy weapons from North Korea. When you are at the point where you have to buy your shit from North Korea,
That's desperation.
I have missile tested hundreds of times. Never successful.
it's good for 30 feet.
300.
So when you have two communist countries that share a border and you're going to North Korea to buy arms, it kind of tells you where. Because when even China's going like, yeah, nah, boss, we're good.
Yeah,
They're like we're
and like what, a year ago, we might have been a little afraid of North Korea.
but now
But now that I'm not afraid of Russia, sorry, North Korea. We're not afraid of you anymore.
I think the North Korea scare was pre-Trump.
No, it was because of Trump.
No,
that's why everybody was scared.
Wasn't he like the first
Who was
president
scared of
in
North Korea?
Long time to
no,
go.
it was previous to Trump because they were doing all kinds of fucking
Yeah,
shit.
but
yeah, but they
we
were
were
testing this and
really-
testing that. And
We
blah, blah,
were
blah.
really scared of North Korea because Trump was going to lead us into a war.
Oh no, the news was.
yeah.
But like as a country as a whole, I think it was pre-Trump, and then whatever fucking buddy talks they had, everything fucking it was just like quiet.
That
on the
motherfucker
fucking
walked
Eastern
solo
Front.
across the DMZ. Was just like,
He did.
I'm like,
Yeah, shook his hand. Hey,
fuck, dude.
Pretty much
Like,
he's like, when was the last time a U.S. president went to North Korea and walked in?
not when,
Right
not what
after,
have
right after
conversation.
Rodman was there. That's all I'm going to say.
Just walked the fuck in. So
Send Rodman to hang out with fucking Putin for
do you
a while.
remember that movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman?
no,
So there was I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was a movie with Dennis Rodman and Jean-Claude Van Damme, and they were both like operatives.
Was it Welcome to North Korea?
No, but it does bring me to the
morning.
point of like,
Good morning, North Korea.
good morning, North
Wait,
Korea.
you're not thinking of Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone?
No,
and
that's
fucking-
Sylvester Stallone and
Wesley
Wesley
Snipes.
Snipes. And no, I absolutely remember that movie.
Wrong black guy, you racist fucker.
This was Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman in an action, and they were both operative.
Double team.
There you go. See? Real
Oh,
movie.
I definitely
Never heard of
know.
it.
So it was a movie called Double Team.
You can watch it for free on YouTube.
Oh, must have been a good one.
That's a good movie. When it's free on YouTube,
For all we know, Rodman has been activated, and he was sent in to prime that pump.
Yeah,
Yeah. Would you put it past Rodman? He married himself.
I know.
Like at this point,
Really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
He wore the woman's dress.
Yeah, he wore a wedding dress to marry himself.
Congratulations.
And if I'm not mistaken, Jordan was actually said that the only way he got his championships was because Rodman was on that team.
Oh, he was a good basketball
he was a
player.
fucking phenomenal basketball player.
I'm just saying though, like when
Yeah.
you dig into the legend of Dennis Rodman, it's like,
He's fucking weird.
I respect Rodman. Like,
or that motherfucker did whatever the hell he wanted.
well,
to.
not only
back
that,
in
but
the
he
90s when it
literally
was-
went to North Korea and like
Hung out.
eased the waters.
Yeah.
Like, calmed it down for a while.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Maybe he got
fucking-
activated.
That's pretty fucking baller.
On the movie poster, it says they didn't play by the rules.
Epic movie. But yeah, I don't know. We live in a weird fucking world when we can look at it and be like, maybe Dennis Rodman went and smoothed it over with North Korea.
Bro, nowadays people say some weird shit, and I'm like, you know what? It's 2022. Nothing surprises me
It's
anymore.
nothing. Like if you hear something that sounds normal, you're like, whoa.
I love all this stuff now.
Hey.
We had the conversation about the fact that there was like intergalactic
Yeah.
whatever, the federation
Yep.
that we don't belong to, or we do, but we haven't proclaimed that we do and whatever. Now there's this shit running around about the Denver airport and all the tunnels that are underneath the Denver
That's
airport.
been a thing for a while, though.
But now it's all coming out that apparently those underground tunnels at the Denver airport are actually it's an intergalactic spaceport, and the reason it's all underground is that's allowing the aliens that are on Earth to be able to traffic through this airport and then get off the planet without being seen and
See,
shit.
all the aliens go past Earth, and there's a giant bulletin for every planet except for here that says, as you go by, lock your doors.
Yeah.
Don't associate with them. Just leave them alone.
But it's oh god, I'm so deep down that rabbit hole. It's fucking awesome with this
I
Denver airport thing.
I so hope that's true.
I do too.
I want some real life Men in Black shit to start going.
And I love the guys that are like, and if you look at the
it would explain a lot.
much.
It would explain
a lot.
But I love it because apparently on the dedication plaque it says also in thanks to Martin Marietta. Fuck that guy.
Before we cut this off,
Who's that?
Have him sign us out.
I'm gonna have Mikey sign us out because Mikey's calling. Mikey, how's the drive going?
Long and fucking weird, man. How are you guys?
We're doing good, man. We're actually just about to wrap it up, so we figured with you calling in, you can wrap this fucking shit show up for us.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Fucking tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your mom's friends.
That's right. Tell them fucking bitches there's a fucking mediocre show out there with a bunch of mediocre dicks. And sometimes some of us are on the road. That happens. But it's brought to you by warfightertobacco.com. Use that code FTFO. That's going to get a sweet 15% off. OldWellness.us for all your CBD treats and needs. Use that code FreedomFriends25. That'll get you a quarter off your order. And of course, IC Tech Coolers. Go to ICTech.com. Use that code FreedomFriends10. That'll get you 10% off. Really, just 3 little things, boys. John, hit with the first one.
Smoke on.
And Josh?
Drink on.
Hey, God damn it.
Freedom the fuck on.
All right, later.
Out of the blue, picks up like he didn't miss a beat. That's why we love that guy.
We just hit the play button. That was it. Like Mikey said, we're out of here, boys. You guys have a good one.